Next on Worcester News Tonight, St. Patrick's Day festivities kick off at City Hall tonight in Worcester. Plus, winter isn't over yet, how the city is dealing with more snow in the bitter cold. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Catherine Andrioli. Local churches are now looking to provide shelter and support for undocumented immigrants who fear they might be deported under President Trump's reforms. One city councilor in Worcester says these immigrants are similar to refugees and shouldn't be turned away.
And so when they're coming here, they come under almost the same category as refugees by the same definition. However, they're not categorized as such because this is kind of their first point of entry. So they have to go in seeking asylum. In that process, they're undocumented. But at this point, it is very important that we kind of understand what people are actually going through, that it's really, if we can accept refugees, then we should be accepting the undocumented population because this is a very similar story.
Immigration and Customs enforcement officials can't detain people inside churches, hospitals, or schools. In Southbridge, a 3-alarm fire rips through a 3-decker home Friday. More than 40 firefighters were on the scene, and flames and smoke could be seen throughout the neighborhood. Our Andy Madison has the details.
A lot of yelling and screaming coming from outside, so I came out to my porch, and the whole second and third floor, the flames were shooting out of the roof.
Heavy flames and smoke spreading quickly through this Southbridge 3-decker Friday morning. As firefighters battled the fire, witnesses describe a chaotic scene of people fleeing the building with whatever they could carry.
They didn't look hurt, but it looks like that's all they had, and they just ran right out as fast as they could. Because it escalated pretty quick, that it engulfed it pretty fast.
It was right to a 3rd alarm, so our first truck got here. I was here prior to them and called for a 3rd alarm initially. Within 20 minutes, we called for a 4th alarm.
A half-dozen fire departments responded to the call off Mechanic Street, and smoke could be seen for miles. Crews could be seen heading up to the roof to contain the blaze.
The most important part of the initial response was to get firefighters on the roof to put a hole in the roof to vent the fire out the building.
Fortunately, everyone made it out safely and no injuries were reported. Neighbors tell us as many as 20 people lived there. The state fire marshal's office is aiding in the investigation and helping to try to determine the cause. The owner of the building didn't want to comment on the extent of the damage, but the building appears badly damaged despite firefighters' quick response to the scene.
Within a minute, the police were already here and they were already fighting it, so I don't think they can save the building now.
It was just very scary, and I was very concerned for the people who live there. I'm hoping everybody got out all right.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
The countdown begins for Worcester's annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. Today, many got into the spirit with a special event on Worcester Common. The city hosted a St. Patrick's Day celebration and giveaway behind City Hall tonight. The event featured live music from local Irish musicians, Irish step dancing, and food trucks along the Common. The event was part of Worcester 100, which aims to bring 100 events to the area this year. Those we spoke with say St. Patrick's Day in this area is a special time of year.
Is probably one of the biggest events that we have as a city. Thousands of people line Park Avenue to cheer on all the parade marches and floats and groups that participate. And it's just a great day for the Irish and those who want to be.
There's a good, awesome parade right down the street. A lot of people just have to get out of the house at this time of the year because people have cabin fever. So St. Patrick's Day is a great excuse.
And you can see full coverage of the St. Patrick's Day Parade here on Charter TV3 starting Sunday at noon. And the Friendly House was also getting into the Irish spirit today. The organization spent the afternoon building their float, which will be in Sunday's parade. Building the parade float has become a tradition for the kids at Friendly House. About 30 kids have been working on decorating the float. Staff of the Friendly House says the float is designed to represent the many programs offered by the Friendly House.
So we have shamrocks for each individual department, and they all design their float, so it's unique to the after-school, basketball, summer camp. So each shamrock is unique to their program. It's really nice.
And the Friendly House float will include singing and dancing and will march alongside other youth organizations during Sunday's parade. After a bit of a break, we're getting another blast of winter weather. Snow and ice this morning, and bitter cold is coming for the weekend. It's prompting warnings, and if you have to be outdoors, Olivia LEMMON has the story and the warning.
65 Sanders and Salters hit the roads Friday morning in Worcester to help keep streets clear of the small amount of snow falling throughout the day.
There weren't any really dangerous conditions. The salt has worked very effectively. The roads are mostly just wet.
DPW Commissioner Paul MOOSEY says today's small storm helps fill the city's reservoirs, allowing Worcester to move from a stage 2 drought to stage 1.
The public has done very well at being careful with water use, and we just like to ask them to continue because we can't predict the future.
Meanwhile, bitter cold temperatures are expected to hit this weekend. Some doctors are reminding people to be cautious of the dangers of frostbite and hypothermia.
Many people with hypothermia and frostbite just don't know what's going on till it's too late, so you have to really pay attention to it.
Dr. Joseph SLIWKOWSKI says if you notice fingertips or toes turning white, it may be frostbite, and signs of shivering and dizziness may be signs of hypothermia.
These are actually would require more emergency room than urgent care for those more extreme cases, but we've definitely seen the milder cases here at Urgent Care Center.
Lifelong Central Massachusetts residents say they are used to temperature changes and are prepared for any type of weather.
Yeah, I'm a New Englander. I'm prepared for anything.
I've lived in New England my whole entire life, and I just think that it's always unpredictable and you never know what you're going to get.
Now, according to the National Weather Service, some parts of Worcester saw up to 3 inches of snow today. They say there's a chance of snow squalls tonight, and then temperatures will be dropping quickly with wind chills below -15 degrees. Doctors say this is the perfect recipe for frostbite or hypothermia. Olivia LEMMON, Worcester News Tonight.
Cumberland Farms opened their new corporate headquarters in Westborough today after moving the facility from Framingham. The Telegram is reporting the facility on Flanders Road has roughly 600,000 square feet of space and houses over 700 corporate employees. The two-story building also includes a 3,000 square foot gymnasium, a cafeteria, and a walking trail for employees. Cumberland Farms has convenience stores in all 6 New England states, as well as in New York and Florida. The College of the Holy Cross may be looking to change the name of their student newspaper because of its ties to a white supremacist group. The paper is called The Crusader, which is the same name as a newspaper affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan. The school says the paper has had its name since the 1950s. 48 faculty members discovered the name similarity and sent a letter to the paper. The student editors say they share the faculty's concern and will immediately begin open discussions about changing the name. It's that time of year again. Daylight savings begins this weekend. Be sure to turn your clocks forward by 1 hour. That official time change will take place at 2 a.m. Sunday.